How you doing today, folks? Now, first things first, like, subscribe, comment, do it. Now, this is a hard video, right? Because a knife that flips, that's all it's supposed to do. It's just supposed to flip. A thumb stud knife, for the most part, needs to be able to be flicked, to be rolled out, if it's an opening hole, to be spidey flicked. There's a bunch of different things, and this video started out with 48 knives, and then I narrowed it down to 22, and then I narrowed it down to 19, and it was still just super long. So I cut out all of that stuff. We're at 15 now, which is still gonna be a long video, and this is gonna be hard. This is gonna be really fucking hard. But anyways, folks, enjoy the video. I love you all. Also, before you ask, this is the CKF Muscle. This is my favorite flipper of all time, not just for the year that I've ever felt. I love this knife. All right, so first things first, these are only the knives that I have acquired in 2020. In my opinion, what's on this table is the best of the best, and you cannot go wrong with any of them, but some are better than others for one reason or another. First knife on the chopping block is one that personally I love, but it's not designed to be a thumb stud opener or a hole opener. I just have it here because I love it and I wanted to showcase it one more time. And that is this beautifully modified sheepdog knives made by Caveman Metalworks. Did all the mod work, did a fantastic job. I love this knife. As you can see, it has definitely been used. Next up is the Manix 2 XL. Now, I want to be very clear, this is a fantastic knife. I just prefer the original, but the action, the overall fit and finish of it, everything is really beautiful on this knife, just not quite for me. I am very biased toward the original Manix, and this one to me is not quite as good. We are only 14 knives in, and I have a stomach ache, and I'm pacing around my kitchen. I can already feel my face getting tense and twitching. Oh, this is gonna go bad. I already fucking know this is gonna go bad. For timestamp purposes, we are at 5:26 in the morning right now, and let's see how long this goes. All right, I figured it out. Though I hate having to do this, but it only really has one method of deployment, and that limits it tremendously. If you get a chance to buy one, do it. They are great. I hate that I'm doing this, but here we go. The CRKT CEO is by far my biggest surprise of 2020. I first heard about this knife and I laughed out loud. That's gonna be so stupid. I'll never like that knife. And I happened to get one and I absolutely love this thing. It only has one method of deployment, which is just this actual stud. You cannot roll it out. You cannot spidey flip. You can't do anything like that. So it has to go, but great knife. Can I just say, my indecisive ass should never do these videos. It's been about, I don't know, 30, 40 minutes, and I feel like death, man. Like, oh my God, I already feel like crap. Next up is another honestly fantastic knife, but it just has little problems here and there as far as just the actual action. Otherwise, pretty much everything, like everything else on this table in regards to these knives, is damn near perfect, but we got to go somewhere with it. So this is a one-off by CKF Knives. This is the Sukos. I don't know how you say the word. I'll put it on the screen for y'all. But this is a incredible knife, fantastic action. It only has one side of the thumb stud, so you cannot spidey flick it, but you can roll it out, and it flicks like an absolute dream. And this knife is beautiful, functional, great ergonomics, and I really and genuinely love this knife. But even though I love it, it has to go, and this is why I hate doing this. Oh my God. Full disclosure, I had every intention of giving this knife the victory. I love it so much, and it's so damn great in every way I can possibly think of. That being said, being honest to the parameters that I set forth, it is limited for how you can open it, and therefore cannot win, and honestly can't even make it past the top 10. This thing is so big and monstrously awesome. I had to zoom the camera all the way back. This is currently standing on top of my stove and then slightly zoomed in because that's how goddamn big this knife is. This is the Slenderman / Lycan hybrid by Old Dominion Knife Works in beautiful Nitro V steel, 6AL4V titanium. All sorts of amazing, awesome beautifulness that I love this damn knife, but it has to go because it only opens one way and you can't roll it out. And yeah, I don't want to do this. So the next one that has to go, I've actually bought this. Fuck. Oh my goddamn tailbone. Oh, I hit that bitch so hard I'll be farting bone dust. God damn it. Oh, fuck this thing. Alright, so my chair just broke, so I'm going to be doing the rest of this video squatting like a germaphobe using the bathroom at a fast food restaurant. My knees already hurt. This is going to be fun. The next one that has to go, I've actually bought this knife 5 times. The most recent one is about 2.5 months ago. I love this model. It's fantastic in every way, shape, and form. The action though, I just prefer the compression lock a little bit more, and that means the Manix 2 has to go. This is a Sprint Run and M390. As you can see, it's definitely been used. I really do love these knives, but I like the compression lock just a little bit more. This kind of ball bearing lock to me is sort of a miss sometimes, but it really is a fantastic knife. And again, I've bought it 5 times, so I must clearly love it, and I really, really do. So I hate repeating myself, so I'm just gonna say this right here, right now. Every single knife going forward, every single knife in this entire process hurts my soul almost as much as my ass hurts from busting it right now. So I'm not gonna say that anymore until I get to probably the top 3. Then you're gonna hear me complain a lot. This next one, again, hurts. The Spartan Harzi is honestly a great knife. It's being eliminated because that slow roll feels really kind of janky. It's not gonna have a problem with the knife, it's just designed for a couple of different purposes, and that slow roll is not one of them. But again, great knife. Next up, another one yet again that I love. The Hinderer XM24 is an iconic knife. It's iconic no matter how you get it. Custom, production, customized, it doesn't matter. It is a fantastic knife. This is an older model, and I have not held a new XM24 in quite some time, but for this one, the detent is a little bit soft. You can definitely get it out. You can thumb flick it, roll it out, finger flick it. Nothing really feels quite right. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none type of thing. For that purpose, this has to go, but love this knife. Next up is another classic and another favorite. The Chavez Knives 229 has incredible action as far as just the actual thumb deployment where you flick it. It's not quite as good for reverse flicking, though you can definitely do it. However, this knife feels downright weird to roll out. You can do it, it doesn't feel bad, but it's not the same. You can definitely tell the detent is made to rock it out. And to nitpick, next up is a knife I'm only eliminating because of my big ass hands. I cannot seem to spidey flick this knife. I know other folks that can do it no problem, but for just me, I cannot seem to make it happen. The Emerson Design ZT0640 is a fantastic knife. Great action. It actually rolls out really well. But for me, that thumb disc is so close to this little piece right here. And it's a very small piece, mind you. This is where the actual locking is at. And this scale, for the most part, covers it. But my finger presses on this just enough to where flicking it is not impossible. I've gotten it before. But there you go. It won't go all the way out. It grinds into my actual finger, and it just does not feel good at all to deploy that way. But again, as far as an actual flick or even a rollout, I love this knife, but again, can't win. Great knife though. ZT hit it out of the park with this one. And I'm not a fan of ZT at all, but this knife I love. So this one should have been eliminated a long time ago, if I'm being completely honest with you. But I love this knife, and I'm very biased towards it. It's one of my absolute favorites of all time. But you can't spidey flick it without using the wrist. You can't thumb flick it without using the wrist. It rolls out beautifully, but it just does not fit the parameters I set forth for this video. So the Medford full-size .26 Marauder has to go. I love this knife. I have problems with Medford knives, especially the Praetorian model and stuff like that, but I love the Marauder. It is such a great knife. Again, does not fit the parameters I set forth, but I love this knife. I think it's beautiful, functional. I love the ergonomics. The finger choil makes me able to choke up on it beautifully. I really don't have many complaints at all about this knife. Again, for this video, it can't stick around, but great knife. Great, great knife. And now, at long last, we have arrived in the top 10. My stomach hurts, my head hurts, my ass really hurts, my knees are throbbing, but we're here. And this next knife is a weird one, and honestly, the fact that it's even here as long as it is just a testament to how well CKF does their fit and finishes and their detents. Should not be able to thumb flick, should not be able to spidey flick, should barely be able to thumb roll, yet it does all of them, and it's kind of incredible. I love this knife. I love all these knives, but this one, the thumb roll is not quite ideal, but it is the best spidey flicking knife I've ever handled by far, and to be honest, it just shouldn't be. The CKF Makosha does all of this with a nail nick. This knife should be able to open like this, and that should just be the end of it. Instead, it spidey flicks perfectly, it rolls out almost perfectly, and it thumb flicks. This knife should not exist. It should not be the way it is. I love it. People talk crap about CKF all the time, and to be very clear, some of their models are a miss to me. Some of their customer service is a little hit and miss as well, but this knife is incredible in ways that honestly it just shouldn't be. It's all thanks to that incredible fit and finish and that detent. You know, I love this knife, and this is the biggest nitpick ever, but to thumb flick this knife, you can definitely do it. It just does not feel quite as good as the other ones. The other ones have broken in beautifully. This one, it might over the period of years, but in the last 6 months since I've had this, it's not there yet. But this is a great knife, and yeah, it's a nitpick. The Spyderco Shaman is a fantastic knife, but not quite there as far as the actual thumb flick. You do need to use a little bit of wrist, and it doesn't always deploy reliably. It's totally a nitpick. This knife is incredible. The Spyderco Shaman is a great knife. And once again, it's morning, folks. I've been stressing about this for an entire day. Barely slept last night. I don't like these videos at all. But anyways, this next one, I'm gonna just put it out there, is my favorite knife right now. Not the best knife, it has its problems, but I really and truly love this knife. But as far as it just being a thumb hole opener, be able to roll out, spidey flick, all type of stuff, it's not quite there, but my God, it is so close, and I genuinely and truly and absolutely adore this knife. The Strider Knives AR has broken in beautifully. It spidey flicks with no wrist. It rolls out beautifully. It is the best action as far as rolling out on this table, period. Right now, everything I had before, nothing quite compares to that beautiful, buttery smooth, that loud lockup. I love the action on this knife, the ergonomics, the fit and finish. And again, I love rolling out my knives. I like the actual have the knife to just hold it, to roll it, to drop it, and then to go. And this knife fits that perfectly. But even though it's one of my absolute favorites, if not my favorite, period, it had to go. This knife is around 800 bucks. This knife retailed for about $225, and at one point in time it was on sale for $138, not counting the CKF discount code. And these two knives are somehow together on the table at once. 2020 is a weird fucking year. But anyways, as you can see, we're once again in the middle of the day, and this has to end. So I love this knife. I gave this knife a 10 out of 10. I still give it a 10 out of 10 as far as overall. It is beautiful, it is incredible, it is unique. It does everything you want a knife to do. All the action you want is really here. This beautiful micarta, which is way darker than it used to be. This knife has been handled, it has been used, it has processed a whole bunch of crap. It has chips, it has scrapes. I love this knife, but again, as far as just sheer thumb deployment and versatility, it's not quite there. But look at it. That is the closest thing to a perfect knife I'll probably ever know. This and that Strider .7 AR are top of the tier on my collection for me. Now, you're probably saying, Kyle, you hypocritical bastard, that knife can't spidey flick. It doesn't have a thumb hole, it doesn't have a reverse thumb stud, and to that I say, watch the magic. The detent on this knife is so good that you can spidey flick it with zero wrist, better than you can most Spydercos, and it's just putting pressure on the actual blade and it rockets out. But more than that, amazing thumb flick, amazing thumb roll. It is an incredible knife, full titanium scales, M390 blade, almost at a budget price. Now these are discontinued, they're very hard to get, but if you can find them, they're normally pretty damn cheap. And again, this knife was CKF's budget brand, and I think, honestly, it's one of their best knives. Now, this has been heavily modified by my buddy Antic7. I really love what he did with it. Everything is very unique, very interesting. I like the storm finish, but I like it subtly. When the whole knife is done that way, I can't stand it. He also orange peeled the actual scales to give it that gorgeous look. He anodized the actual thumb stud, the hardware. Everything on this knife is titanium, so it's all able to be anodized, minus the blade itself. The CKF Macad Loro is honestly the best action I've ever felt on a knife, period. It has other problems, it's not perfect, but just as far as the actual action, it's incredible. All right, so the best thumb stud slash thumb hole opening knife has been crowned. The CKF Macad Loro is a beautiful knife, it is a functional knife, it is a amazing knife, honestly. Now, I would like to say this video was fun to make, but I'd kind of be lying. So, between breaking my ass, breaking my chair, anxiety shaving again, which you might be thinking to yourself, Kyle, you gargantuan ginger fuck, you always look like Ed Sheeran, A. Macklemore. Who are you kidding? To which I would say, first off, solid burn, but yes, that is true. However, it is wintertime now, and I'm literally getting ready to go to the snow. I'm going to freeze to death. I'm in a house with the heater cranked, and my head is cold. Once I get out in the snow and I'm rolling around, this is not going to be good. On top of that, I came so close to actually shaving my head. Now, I did not do it because I used to look like this. Now, this is me at 26 years old. You might be thinking, damn, you look old. And to that, I would argue, yeah, I look like Dr. Evil after a lifetime of hard drugs and methamphetamines. It's rough. On top of that, that guy looks kind of racist. I know he's not. I know my own heart, but that face, that hair, nah, bad idea. So my anxiety shave did not go everywhere, thankfully. To be honest, if I look that bad at 26 and I'm 32 now, how bad am I gonna look now? I hope I never go bald. Look at the size of my dome, this big ass forehead, bro. If this goes bald, I might just say fuck it, man, and put like a little, kind of like a line going back right there and just embrace the dickhead nature, because let's be honest here, I have a head like a penis. I hope I never go bald. If I do though, I'm gonna have fun with it. As always, folks, I love you all with all of my heart. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for your likes, support, subscribes, and comments. They mean the absolute world to me. And as always, this world is crazy. Be nice to one another. Love each other. Find ways to be friends if possible. And if not, roast respectfully. As always, folks, I love you all. Take care and bye.